Join me as I explore worlds full of grit, love, betrayal, and redemption. I'm bringing to you three urban fiction picks with all the drama. Also, Nicola Yoon's One of Our Kind. This is a book like nothing I've ever read before. My name is Raquel. Welcome and welcome back. Let's get started. So, June is a good story. I really liked it. I thought it was super cute. It is about these three friends, Braun, Box, and Crockett. So they're all good friends. They are into the life and they do their thing. And Crockett winds up snitching on Braun. And so Braun and Box takes Crockett to he thinks he's going one place, but they take him to another, and they give him a little 1-2 and it's over. um Braun goes to his family house. His dad sees the blood on his shoes and knows what happens. His mom doesn't know, but his dad takes his shoes and, burn them or whatever, get rid of them. And so he like just kicking it with his family or whatever. And then the police officer shows up like the next day and wants to talk to Braun and Box about their best friend being um, put to sleep. And so they like don't really want to talk to her, but Braun is attracted to her, so he's flirting with her, and she kind of like you she giving it back to him basically, like not like how normally a police officer would act. They are just being professional, and she's not like that. Like he talking smack, and Box is kind of disrespecting her or whatever, and she's just like giving it back to him. She got a smart mouth or whatever. And so Bron just keep kind of talking back and forth to her. He like her or whatever. He asked her out on a date and she like whatever. So she go off and she comes back again and they're talking back and forth. He's trying to talk to her, flirting with her, saying all this little ridiculous stuff. And she kind of is trying to stay, in her profession or whatever because she finds him attractive as well. So they decide that they're going to go out to lunch. He knows that she's going out to, he knows that she's going out to lunch with him, but she's going out to lunch with him because she believes that he killed his best friend and she's trying to get close to him. He knows that she's trying to get close to him for this purpose. Even like her boss knows and approves for her to hang out and spend time with him in order to get close to him to find out if he killed his friend. Now, Braun is not stupid. He know that this is why she's hanging out with him. He gives her as much as he need to in order to keep her coming back. And she is, kind of giving in a little bit. And now they're becoming friends. And it doesn't matter that they're friends because she is still doing her job. And I really like that. She's still doing her job. So he asked her to come over to the house because now they're sort of in this weird kind of relationship, I suppose, where she's the cop investigating him, but they've kissed and, all this kind of stuff. So he tells her, I miss you, come over to the house. And she's like, okay, I'll come over to the house if I could search your house. And, and he's like, what? And he like, okay, cool, just you know come over. So she come over, they hang out, do the thing, whatever, but she doesn't search the house. And so he was like, I thought she was gonna search the house, but I'm not tripping because I ain't really want her to do it anyway. So she decides that she spends the night, gets up in the morning, leave, comes back, calls him on the phone, and like she leaves, comes back, And at the door, and she's got her whole little team, they ready to do like the real search, not the, let me peek under the mattress or whatever. She got her whole team, and they are doing a full-fledged search, and he is hot. He like, you mean we was just together last night, you couldn't tell me? But what he's forgetting is that he told her he could search her house. Not only that, but throughout this whole relationship that they're having, she is still doing her job. So it kind of seems to me that she is kind of able to separate, at least partially anyway, separate this relationship that she's having with him from her actual job. He's not kind of quite able to do that, but um, he is starting to get the picture. And so it goes on, and of course it's more to it than that. You'd have to read the book. I can't give you any more than that. But I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was super cute. I don't know. I'd probably give it like it was a good story. There was nothing wrong with it. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't a story that um like really pulled me in, and just made me go, wow, this is a 5 star. But it was a good read, and it was pretty short. I think it might have been maybe 200 pages. And so yeah, that was that. And then we have Karma. So Karma is by Natisha Rayner. Karma is such a cute story. Oh, I liked Karma. This one is kind of in that same realm as June. It's a cute story. It's fairly short. It's not like a 500-600 page book. It's really cute. Maybe 200-250 pages, something like that. And so, this is about a girl named Karma who lives with her family. And Karma is an adult who feels some kind of way. She has fairly like low self esteem. She has acne. She has crooked teeth. Like, she's, I want to say, somewhere like in her late teens, early 20s. And she's never had a boyfriend. Nobody's like pushing up on her or anything. And so she just decides, like, throughout all these encounters, all she do is kind of sit at home, watch TV, read books, just do whatever it is she do in the house. She goes to work, she comes home, and she just kind of stays to herself. She got this one friend who is not really her friend. So you know a friend when you see one, and this one ain't it. um she hang out with this girl, and the girl is always like, you know, saying little slick stuff that Karma lets slide or whatever. And so she has this cousin who lives in Florida. Her cousin comes to visit her. And when her cousin comes to visit her, like, she hasn't seen her cousin in a little while, maybe a couple years or something. Like, the cousin come back, and she's like, she cute and fixed herself up and got her hair done, and got her cute little fit on, and got her a nice little place, and got her a little sugar daddy, I guess you could call it. And so Karma decides, well, I'm gonna fix myself up. Her cousin invites her to come out. She's like, whenever you're ready, just come out to Florida and we'll have a good time. And she is her cousin. She loves her. She sees her, and she knows that, basically it's a self esteem issue. Not that she isn't attractive, but personality, her insecurities show on the outside. You know, um, we all know people who, like, when you just kind of look at them, it's kind of like, but they have such a nice, bubbly personality. Like, their personality just makes them such a beautiful person that it, boils over to the outside. And then we also know people who we look at and we think, like, immediately at looking at them, oh, that person is handsome or she's pretty or whatever. And they open their mouth And then it's like, oh my God, you are like the ugliest person I've ever seen. So she knows that her cousin is beautiful on the outside and the inside. It's just a matter of getting her cousin to believe that. So she goes back to Florida, and Karma starts to take care of herself. So now Karma is, she goes to get braces to get her teeth fixed. She is starting to work on her skin. She is, just caring for herself. Basically, and it's not about going out and different things like that. She is starting to love on herself. So she starts to love on herself, and she has a crush on this guy, on a guy. Karma does hair. And so she does this guy's hair. He has locks. And so she does his hair, and they have like these little, conversations or whatever, but they don't really talk because he's there to get his hair done. The friend knows that she has a crush on the guy, but she's not a friend. So she goes to Florida, and she comes back, and you know, sh her cousin then helped her get it together while she's in Florida. She's in Florida. Her cousin, then helped her with her outfit and put a little makeup on her. They then went out to the club and out to eat and to brunch and hang out and do all these things and on the boardwalk. And she just out having a good time. She is with somebody who is encouraging, somebody who is uplifting, and when she comes back home, she still has that same spirit. And she realizes that that girl is not her friend. So she kind of, shoo her on off. And that is where the book begins. It is so good. It is such a cute story. I love it. I love it. Um, just because how let us tell it, at least the internet anyway, you know everybody's fine, everybody's beautiful, everybody's self-esteem is through the roof and all of this stuff, and like in real life we know it's not like that. So to me this book was um sort of very real life as opposed to that internet hype. And so, yeah, you'd have to read it. Like I said, it's really good. It's a short read, and it is by Natisha Rayner. So then we have the five-star book. Now, in one of my other videos, I was supposed to discuss this book. I don't know what happened because I did not discuss it. So I am going to discuss it today, and that is Losing Control by Lady Nisha. When I tell you Lady Nisha can write a book, if you leave it up to me, all of her books are five-star, but this one really hit home. I'd give it 6 stars. So, Losing Control is about a girl named Marley and her boyfriend. What is her boyfriend's name? Benny. So Marley and Benny are boyfriend and girlfriend. Marley is a vegan and she is pregnant. And her boyfriend Benny, he gets money and he's a big guy in the streets. And so on this particular day, they are out and about. They're going and doing pickups for his business. And Marley is with them, and they just kind of hanging out, driving through the city, talking and everything. And so something happens. Somebody calls Benny, and now he's got to go. Marley doesn't want to leave because number one, they were. It looks like to me now. This is background information how I perceive the story because these are not the words in the book. The way I perceived it is like they were supposed to be hanging out together on this day. Something happens, and now he's gonna take her home. Um, he has been caught cheating before, and so when he says that he's going to take her home, it makes her feel a kind of way because She knows that he has cheated in the past, and she just really don't trust him 100%, even though she's still with him. So they're having this argument or whatever, and they're going back and forth, and they kind of work it out or whatever. And in them, and Marley is pregnant. So Marley's like, forget it, just take me to get something to eat and take me home. So he starts to, let that honey slip out of his mouth, and she starts to give in to it, and so they're kind of making up. Just as they are making up, they're stopped at a light. Somebody comes over, pulls Marley out the car, shoots her twice, and him too. And then it moves over to the story of this guy named Czar. And so Czar is a big time rapper. He's at the top of his game. It starts off where he's in a club, and he's him and his brothers, which his whole family is a part of his enterprise. And him and his brothers are on stage and they're rapping. They come down, and they're in their section, and there's this other guy who's a rapper who he has beef with, and there's this girl who keeps going between the two of them. Well, Czar doesn't really care, because that's just his personality. He's like a bad boy type of thing, where he's like that F him and leave him type of thing. You give it to me and go on about your business. Whereas this guy over here is trying to, just really be with her. And she's going back and forth between these two guys. So Czar doesn't care, but the other guy, Yarrow, is he's not a big he's not as popular as Czar, and he was like born and raised in the suburbs, so that kind of, I guess, takes away from his street cred. And so they're kind of going back and forth, well, over, not really over the girl, but she's kind of the basis of this thing. And so Czar and Yarrow winds up fighting. Okay, so that happens, and so now, since Marley loses her baby, unfortunately, and her boyfriend, so now she's just kind of moping around, and she doesn't have any life to her. She has just lost hope, pretty much. And she has a cousin, but Marley is into herbal herbs and natural remedies and candles, and just that whole thing. She's vegan. And so her cousin tells her, hey, let's go to this mental health fair, and we can sell some of your wares. So Marley really doesn't sell her wares. She kind of just gives her stuff away. But the cousin convinced her to go to this mental health thing and sell her wares. So they do that, and then Czar, his brother, who's like his manager or something, like I said, his whole family is somehow connected into their business. His mom is something, his brothers are something, his dad is something. Everybody in his family has some sort of business or job connected to him being a rapper. So his brother tells him, hey, you should go to this mental health fair, and go there, and I guess do a concert. Look, I read the book a couple months ago. Since then, I've probably read over 50 books, so excuse me if some of the details are a little shaky. Anyway, they go to the mental health fair, and so Marley and her cousin are got their own little booth, and they're sitting there, and Czar comes up, and him and Marley go back and forth, because Marley, like, she really don't have no patience. She don't have no hope. Like, she just not with the whole bad boy thing. It's like, you don't move me. Czar, on the other hand, because he is a rapper, he's handsome, he's got locks, just all the things that the girls go crazy for. He is intrigued because all the time he's saying, why do all of these girls look alike? They got the same butts, they got the same waist, they got the same face. Like everything about these girls are all the same. Like there's nothing special about them, there's no originality. And so then he meets Marley, who is very different from that whole rapper girlfriend aesthetic, the Instagram model aesthetic, all of that stuff. And not only does she look different, and uh, she acts different, she's not falling all over him, and she doesn't even know who he is. And so that is attractive to him. And so he decides that he is going to buy some of her wares. Does he buy it? I don't know if he buys it or if he just promotes it on Instagram. But anyway, he starts to do things like that, and it makes her business blow up. But just because he blew up her business, that don't mean she finna start falling all over him, because she's still kind of like, well, she like, well, thank you, but I ain't asked you to do it. And he kind of like, this is a different kind of young lady. And so they, start to build a relationship, and do all these things. I don't want to give too much of it away, but I can say that, or should I should not. Well, let's just say her original boyfriend didn't actually die. Okay, and that is that for that. And then we're going to get into the last one, which is One of Our Kind by Nicola Yoon. Now, this book was, like I said, nothing like anything I've ever read before. So, this book is about two couples and their friends. So, um, a man and a woman, man and a woman, and they one couple, they've been friends. These two couples have been friends since college, and so one of the couples are doing really well, and so they decide that they want to move to this new community. In this community, there are nothing but black people who live in this community. Everything is black. The grocery store, the schools, this community has everything you need, and everything in it is black. The all the teachers, all the people who work there, everyone is black. So one couple decides that they want to go live there, and they do. The other couple still lives on the outside of this community. They would go live there, but the way I understand it is super exclusive, it's very expensive, and they cannot afford to live there. So they go live there, and the wife, I'm so sorry, I do not remember these people's names, so we're going to call the wife Nicole, and we're going to call the husband Ben, who live inside this community. And so Nicole and Ben live inside the community, and they have this little routine that they're doing. And the husband starts to go to the gym on the property of the community they live in. Now she's noticing a difference in her husband, but I mean, people change. So she is trying to meet people with a like mind. And one of the things that she wants to do is start a um, BLM chapter there on the community. And so she's meeting people, and they're like telling her, oh, this person is like this and this person is like that. So she meets this one lady, and her and the lady click. They have become good friends. They hang out together. Now, the the lady Nicole is pregnant, and then the other her friend that she's met who lives inside this community, she is a black woman with a huge afro, and she is lesbian. But they've hit it off and they're really good friends and they are starting to hang out and they're wanting to start a chapter of BLM. And so they're going around and they're trying to, meet people. And as they're doing this, she's noticing that people are changing. Like one day she'll be talking to somebody and it'll just be regular. And then the next thing it's weird. And everybody is going to the gym. Her husband is trying everything in his power to get her to go to this gym. So she goes to the gym just to look at the gym at one point, and she's kind of like, I'm just not interested. So they talk her into going to the gym another time. And she goes to the gym, but instead of going to like I guess the gym, she goes to this one particular bungalow or something. And the people who she's gonna go meet, they're like laying there nude getting a massage, and she like, I don't know about this, this is weird. And so they're trying to convince her, well, number one, they don't have any problem with her being in a room with them while they're nude, and she's kind of like, this is weird. And they're trying to convince her to join the gym, and she's still kind of like, I don't think so. So after a while, she realizes that her one friend that she had, something about her is different. And I cannot tell you what the thing is that's different. Like I said, this book is very different from any book I've ever read, because you almost have to read at least a good 90-95% of the book just to figure out what's going on. Because, like, throughout the book, you're going on and she's meeting people and they're talking and they're going out and they're having drinks and just doing all these things. And then she's hanging out with her other friends who live outside of the community, and they're kind of having conversations, but she kind of don't want to say too much because they are, like, she don't want to make it a big deal because they can't afford to live there. They kind of don't want to say anything because they keep making these jokes and making her uncomfortable. Like, it is weird. So I think this book is, if I'm not mistaken, it would probably be considered dystopian. And like I said, it takes almost 90 or 95% of the book before you actually figure out what's going on. I almost DNF'd the book, but I kept going because I really, really wanted to know, what was happening. So it did pull me in. It kept me there because I did finish the book, although it probably took me maybe 2 weeks or something to finish the book, which that particular book would probably take no longer than 3 days. But because I kept picking it up and putting it down, picking it up, putting it down, it took probably about 2 weeks. And unfortunately, I cannot reveal what is happening in the book. Would I recommend the book? I would only recommend this book if you are the kind of person who does not mind having your chain yanked. Because it really does take a long time for you to figure out what's happening. The things that are happening in the book are not that interesting. I mean, it's like, so let's say we're on a scale of 1 to 10. Throughout the entire book, you're probably at a 5 the whole time. It doesn't get boring. It doesn't really pick up. Like, it's just an even kill all the way through. I don't know that I would recommend it to anybody. Um, for that reason, because it takes so long for you to figure out what's happening, I wouldn't put anybody, to me, it's like torture. I want to know what's going on. I mean, I want to at least have an idea, because it's almost like you're completely in the dark. You really don't know what's happening. And I don't know. No, I would not recommend this book to anybody. It's just too it's too iffy, I guess, for me. I wouldn't recommend it, and I'd be mad at somebody who recommended it to me. And especially, I'm the kind of person who will DNF a book if 3 chapters in, if I'm not, if nothing's happening or something doesn't pull me in after about three chapters or so, I'm not even going to give it 50%. I am moving on. I don't have time to waste, and I like to be entertained. If I can't be entertained in 3 chapters, or at least you give me something that makes me interested enough. So, no, I wouldn't recommend it. But at the same time, I would probably give the book maybe a 3.5 stars. I guess it's better than a 3, but not really better than a 4. To me, a 4 is a good book that just isn't over the top. And so this would have been maybe a 3.5, and I would not recommend it because it was too much. Well, that was my 4 books. So that was June by K. Nicole, Karma by Natisha Rayner, Losing Control by Lady Nisha, and One of Our Kind by Nicola Yoon. And yeah, that was it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, see you soon.